Today, we're digging into the BCI Horizon Scan report for 2025, and we're going to uncover this really fascinating gap, a gap between what organizations are afraid of and what's actually causing them problems. And trust me, the answer is probably not what you're thinking.
So, let me just ask you, what do you think is the biggest threat to businesses right now? I'm willing to bet your mind immediately jumps to things like massive cyber attacks, the rise of AI, or maybe some big geopolitical mess. And you know what? Those are all totally valid concerns.
And that's pretty much exactly what leaders are worried about when they look 5 or 10 years down the road. Cybersecurity is the undisputed heavyweight champ here, with nearly 2/3 of organizations citing it as a major concern. Right behind it, you've got these other huge, complex issues like climate risk and AI. You can see the pattern, right? It's a very future-focused, very tech-heavy list of anxieties. But okay, that's the future. Let's talk about the here and now. What has actually been causing the most frequent and the most impactful disruptions over the past year? The answer is, well, it's a bit of a plot twist compared to that last slide.
The number one cause of disruption? Safety incidents. Yep. Not a sophisticated digital attack, not some crazy weather event, but incidents related to the health and safety of people. It's a fundamentally human issue, sitting right there at the top of the list.
And here's the full picture. Yes, of course, cyber attacks are number 2. They are a very real, very present danger. But look at what else is in that top 5. You've got security incidents, fraud, and just plain old IT and telecom outages. The big takeaway here is that the day-to-day, operational stuff, that's what really dominated the last 12 months.
And this brings us right to the heart of the entire report. There's this massive disconnect between what we're afraid is coming and what's actually happening right now. And it's a critical flaw in how we think about and prepare for risk.
This slide just lays it out so clearly. It's like a tale of 2 different threat lists. On the left, you've got the big headline-grabbing future worries: cyber, climate, AI. But on the right, you see the messy, recent realities. Safety incidents, staff morale taking a hit, and basic security issues. It's like we're planning for one kind of war, or we're actually fighting a completely different one.
So why does this gap even exist? Well, the report offers a really fascinating idea, and it's captured perfectly in this quote. It suggests that the fundamental people-come-first idea might be getting lost because we're so distracted by threats that just seem more sinister, like a major cyber attack. And while we're focused on that, we're overlooking the immediate, very real risks to our own people.
So, given this big disconnect, how are organizations trying to scan the horizon and get ready for what's next? Let's take a look at the strategies they're actually using.
Now, this is one of the most interesting trends in the whole report. There's a move away from long-term planning. Trend analysis actually peaked back in 2021, right after the pandemic hit, when over 81% of organizations were using it. But today, that number has dropped to just 68%. This might mean that instead of trying to predict every little thing, companies are shifting their focus to just being stronger and more agile internally.
And for those that do conduct this kind of analysis, it's mostly handled by a central corporate team. That's the case almost half the time. But what's really striking here is that 13.5% of organizations, they do no formal trend analysis at all. That's a pretty big chunk of businesses just kind of flying blind into a very uncertain future.
Okay, now this part is fascinating. What tools are they using for this analysis? You'd think with all the hype around AI forecasting, it would be all about algorithms. But nope, the top 5 tools are remarkably human. We're talking about internal assessments, reading reports, going to industry events, and collaborating with peers. It's all about people talking to other people and using their own judgment.
And when it comes to checking their work, the industry standard is something called ISO 22301. But how it's being used tells a story. Nearly 60% of organizations use it as a general guide, a framework, but only about 15% go through the super rigorous process of getting fully certified. This tells you that companies prefer flexible alignment over really strict formal compliance.
So we've looked at the threats, we've looked at the reality, and we've looked at the tools being used. What does this all boil down to? What's the one single most important takeaway from this whole report? It's this. This single, powerful quote right from the report's foreword says it all. Resilience is ultimately a human story. It's not about the technology or the systems in a vacuum. It's about the people at the absolute center of it all. And this data shows you exactly why that human story is so critical. When things go wrong, the consequences aren't just about money.
Look at the top impacts: customer complaints, lost productivity, and right there at number 3 is a direct negative impact on staff morale and well-being. The cost of disruption is deeply, deeply human.
So this report really leaves us with one crucial, lingering question. When all the data shows that our biggest disruptions are human-centric and that the consequences directly harm our own people, are we really doing enough to protect our most vital asset? It's something we should all be thinking about.